What is the cause of the conflict between Pink Floyd's Roger Waters and David Gilmour? David believes he owns it. I believe he believes he owns Pink Floyd, that he is Pink Floyd, and that I am insignificant because I left the band in 1985. Syd Barrett on guitar and vocals, Nick Mason on drums, Roger Waters on bass and vocals, and Richard Wright on keyboards and vocals first founded the English rock group in late 1965. David Gilmour joined the band in December 1967, just before Barrett was fired in April 1968 due to mental health issues. The band became well known for their unique experimental music, particularly after Dark Side of the Moon was released in 1973, which launched them to stardom. Waters drew on personal experiences for The Wall 1979, one of the band's most beloved albums, but member conflicts made him see the 1983 album The Final Cut as their last collaboration. Roger Waters and David Gilmour, the two main driving forces behind the group, frequently had arguments, which eventually led to Roger Waters leaving the band in 1985, further intensifying their animosity. This article details one of the biggest rivalries in music history, which starts with Gilmour and Waters' disagreement over ownership and direction within Pink Floyd. Waters believes that Gilmour acts as though he owns the band and that Waters has become irrelevant since leaving in 1985. Tensions increased after Waters' departure, leading to protracted legal disputes when Gilmour continued to use the Pink Floyd name. Despite brief reunions, such as their Live 8 performance in 2005, their relationship has suffered because of disagreements over creative control in 1986. Waters even attempted to legally disband the group, arguing that it was no longer creatively sustainable without him. The musicians have argued ever since Waters left the band in 1985 after the release of The Final Cut, a follow-up to smash hit The Wall. Waters famously sued and lost to the remaining members over their continued use of the band's name since leaving. Waters has continued to express disapproval with the band's direction under Gilmour's supervision, particularly with relation to the 1987 album A Momentary Lapse of Reason and The Division Bell. In 2020, 1994. In 2020, Waters publicly vented his annoyance at being left out of Pink Floyd's social media accounts and legacy, alleging that Gilmour treated him like a non-entity. Waters said, "I think he thinks because I left the band in 1985 that he owns Pink Floyd, that he is Pink Floyd and that I'm irrelevant," expressing his displeasure at being kept out of the band's history and social media accounts. Waters also disclosed in his statement that he had met with the remaining band members the year before in an attempt to overcome this terrible obstacle we face, but that endeavor had not been successful recently as their quarrel intensified outside of the band and touched on geopolitical problems. Polly Sampson, Gilmour's spouse, regretfully. Roger Waters, you have a rotten core and are anti-Semitic. You are also a Putin supporter, a hypocrite tax evader, a thief, and a liar, which Gilmour acknowledged, further deepening their divide. In the end, the fight between Gilmour and Waters has grown to be one of the most prominent and enduring in rock history, and fans are now forced to choose between the two sides. Do you side with Waters or Gilmour? Post your ideas in the comments section, Thank you for taking the time to watch the video. If you find this content interesting, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the latest updates. See you in the next video.